Hi everyone, it's the Assyrian Priestess with you. I hope this finds you well. In today's reading, I'm going to ask the question, what is hindering the collective right now? What inner workings or actions of ours are actually hindering our progress? And I say the word progress in the sense of, living a really lovely, go with the flow kind of life. So I did a previous reading on what energies are aiding us. So now I'm sort of doing the opposite. So let's see. First cut out, Two of Pentacles. What energy is hindering the collective? So some of the messages here are doubling up, juggling too much, doing too much. Yeah, are you doing too much? Are you juggling too much? And what are the intentions of doing that? Because the second card out, the Six of Wands, is the being seen card. It's the being applauded card. And perhaps the suggestion is that juggling too much or doing everything all the time, more than one should, for the sake of being seen, is actually hindering you. It's not helping you. And here we have the Nine of Discs, which is maybe doing everything ourselves. So another message I'm getting is, can you ask for help with these two things? Instead of blaming ourselves for juggling too much, like, I'm a Gemini sun, I've been working more than 2 jobs most of my life. So I get it. I also thrive on doing more rather than doing less. I like being inspired. I like big ideas, and I like trying and testing and experimenting and often failing at things. Not everything I do is amazing, of course, like, come on. But maybe this doing everything ourselves is actually hindering us. So here you're going to see a reading where I'm going to read the cards as actually as a detriment to us and not as useful. And I'm going to be as ethical as possible. So second row out, the Seven of Swords. So what energy is hindering us at the moment and not helping us? Your lack of trust in others, your lack of trust in a group. Maybe you're re-questioning your allegiances, going, is this place really right for me? Is this relationship really good for me? Is this workplace really where I'm meant to be? But this constant questioning and mistrust is actually hindering you right now. You're not meant to cut your losses and run. You're actually meant to really think about it, about where you're going. Here I see the Chariot card, again, with the question that I've asked, what energy is hindering us? I'm getting the sense that there's this urge to run away. There's this urge to go, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can really trust these people, or I don't know if I'm really meant to be here. Where can I go? Where can I escape? And often, this is the fight or flight card. Seven of Swords with the Chariot, something in you is re-questioning, maybe panicking and wanting to flight. And I say that because it's followed by the Two of Cups. So I'm not suggesting here that your relationships are what's hindering you, but I'm going to read this in the whole line. And what I'm seeing here in the whole line, the second line of the reading, is some of you are re-questioning your allegiance to something that once really fulfilled you, and you have this urge to escape. But this urge to escape is actually not going to help you. What's going to help you is sitting together, meeting and greeting each other and facing each other. Because I suspect the Seven of Swords card for me is a mental health card. And a lot of people don't speak about mental health in tarot readings, which I find preposterous, to be honest. And by mental health, like, I'm not here, I'm not a clinician, no one is diagnosing each other. But what I mean is when our mental faculties are not clear, are not strong, are not supporting us, but we're stuck in loops of rumination, that's the Seven of Swords card. And it's often linked to inherited mistrust. So to recap, the first card, the first row is about if you're trying to do too much because you're trying to be seen, but also actually because you have to do it. Maybe you're in a position of leadership, or maybe you're a performer or a personal trainer and you have to look a certain way, or you have to be seen to be doing something all the time because of your role. That is what's hindering you, and so ask for help. Try not to do everything on your own. I understand that you do have to maintain it, you do have to do it, but get support. The second row is, instead of running away from the relationships that you're over questioning right now, maybe actually come closer. Now let's go to the last row here. What energies are hindering the collective? So first card out, the Ten of Wands, exhaustion, depletion, burnout. You know, Ten of Wands is literally the burnout card. This person has worked so hard, they need a break. Now, this doesn't mean that the thing that they worked so hard on was the wrong thing to do. It's just a natural response to the end of a season and the end of a cycle. So here where I am, we're actually just past the summer solstice, and a lot of people who work full-time and raise families and the rest are exhausted. We're depleted at this time. Now, the antidote to depletion is, of course, rest, relaxation, and fun. So what's hindering you now is, if you're in a state of burnout and exhaustion, I know how tempting it is to just plop down, watch movies or watch television, streaming, etc. Just not do much, have a period of inactivity, but inactivity actually doesn't rejuvenate or renew us necessarily. Leisure and pleasure do. So think about how you can rest your mind in a leisurely and pleasureful way rather than in a sort of numbing way. Here we have the Justice card. So the Justice card, as an energy that would be hindering the collective, is maybe being trapped in this concept of what's right and what's wrong. So if you're trapped in this reasoning right now, I'm right, they're wrong, or this is right and that's wrong, maybe that's not the way to go about it. Another message could be that maybe you do need to ask someone with higher authority than you, on your path ahead. And the last card here, we have the Eight of Cups. And I love that that Sandra Tabitha Cicero in the Babylonian Tarot calls it neglect. So traditionally, the Eight of Cups is the Fool is leaving a situation because they know they want more. And that remains true. Here we have a scene, a really famous scene from Assyrian art, of warriors swimming away from a battle. It's actually like, to art historians, this is like phenomenal movement and dynamism in rock carvings that the Assyrians showed for the first time in sort of recorded history. But the Eight of Cups looking for something more. Maybe your constant striving, your constant constantness is hindering you right now. Your constant striving, and I really do see striving in this reading. You've been aiming for something, and here we have Ninlil in the shadow, the Princess of Arrows. Your constant striving, strategizing, questioning, thinking that you know what's right and what's wrong and you know best, constantly exhausting yourself about your next move is actually hindering you. And so the advice is to maybe chill. Have some leisure time. Well, let's ask, what is the advice? My first question was, what is hindering us. Now I'm asking, what is the advice for the collective? Aha. How perfect is that? The Rest card. 6 of Arrows, relief. Here we see an Assyrian priestess, a healer. It could actually also be the goddess Gula, because there's the dog there, and dogs in ancient Assyrian mythology actually kept the demons at bay. And so here she is, keeping the demons at bay. She has in one hand an arrow, and in the other some healing herbs, and it appears as if she's actually helping a wounded soldier. And so maybe one of the advice is go and seek medical help or assistance of some sort. But if there's no need for assistance, maybe just have a break. But also a pleasureful break, and a break where you really are nourishing yourself. So I feel like the herbs in this reading are really important, the medicinal herbs. So yeah, I hope this reading was useful. Please don't forget to like, leave a comment, subscribe if you're keen to support the channel. But as always, I will leave you with my love and courage until we meet again. Bye for now.